Dear friends, I am Dmytro Kviatkovsky. I invite you to watch my second video. I am going to talk more about our world origin in it. As I mentioned in my previous address, for some reason I remember what others forget, and they forget artificially. I remember the beyond. It is a mistake to believe that we only get there, I mean that our souls get beyond, only when we die. We are there before we are born too. The beyond is the real world. But our world, the place where we live, the planet Earth, is an artificial one. This is the main idea that I want to get to you. I remember what happened before my birth. I know something about the beyond. The beyond was first. This is where human souls live. They are born here and get into human bodies. We live here. We do not remember what was there. Then we die and get back. This is the main idea, the bottom line. Today, I want to tell you more in detail. I want you to learn what I remember, what I know about the beyond, the afterlife, who lives there, what it looks like, what laws it has, how people live there, and if it is people who do. What we are born here for. Before I begin, let me reiterate the main idea. Our world that is here, the planet Earth, our entire universe, was neither created by God, as religion claims, nor did it come into being naturally on its own, as science states. Our world is artificial, and this quality of being artificial is the main obstacle to our perception. The thing is, when we study this world, when science studies it, it is assumed that our world is a real one. But in fact, this world, the environment, is artificial. It was created by someone. Like a person makes a fish bowl or a birdhouse, our world was made, but it was not created by God. It was created by ourselves, by the people from the beyond, by our souls. Therefore, this world, the earth, combines both perfect and not so perfect elements. At the first glance, everything is balanced here. The system is perfect, runs like a clock. Yet, it is not perfect. We live here, but we suffer. We do not truly enjoy living here. There is always something wrong here. We have to go through some ordeals sooner or later. We have trouble now and then. Many of you wake up and miss your dreams. Dreaming has not been studied thoroughly. It happens that we are happier when we dream. We feel better in our dreams than when we are awake. Have you ever realized that? This also proves that there is something about dreaming that is attractive for us. I also want to talk about this aspect. Space and time are not perfect, which proves them to be artificial. There are two theories in physics that rule out one another. Einstein's theory, probability theory, plane geometry, Newton's physics rule out one another. It is not quite clear about time. Time is not perfect, and space is not either. Science does not take that into account. It assumes that the world here in the Earth is the one that emerged on its own. It is the only one, there is no other. The laws that are here are real. But this is wrong thinking. Our world is artificial, time and space are artificial here. Look, the world consists of space and time. our world is artificial. Time and space are artificial. They are not real, they are artificial. They were made, programmed in advance. And failure to understand that slows down all of our science. Our space and time are not the space and the time that science wants to study. Real space and real time are there, in the beyond. There, real space and time. Here, space and time are not perfect. We sense this imperfection. It depresses us. We don't feel quite at ease here. Why do so many people like to drink alcohol or take drugs? When a person is drunk or high, they perceive space and time in a different way. Time elapses quickly and easily. The person feels easy and full of energy. There is nothing weighing on them. The perception of time and space, easy as if in a dream, is true, real. And that is what they feel in the beyond. So, the first aspect is, what is the beyond like? What is its structure? What does it consist of? What is there? How do people live there? Space and time are different in the beyond. There are no people there. There are their souls, though. And they exist there, in that medium, where space and time are different. They are like when we get drunk or drugged, or when we dream. Look, when one dreams, they sense time and space in a way which is different from being awake. If one sensed time and space the same way, both while dreaming and awake, if it were the same, we couldn't tell dreams from the reality. We would not know when we go to sleep and when we wake up. We would be confused. We would confuse dreams and the reality, but we do not. Thus, time and space are not the same when you dream. Remember what we feel when you dream. Everything is unreal, unusual, strange, weird. You can fly, you can teleport. You do not sense time at all. You can say it's quite different, it's discrete. This is what time and space are like in the beyond, similar to what you have when you dream. This is an important aspect. It is perfect. But our time and space are heavy. They are imperfect. Time and space here in our world are artificial. And when we get drunk or high, our perception changes, and we sense time and space like we do in the beyond, where they are perfect. It is the same when we dream. I'm going to tell you later why we can sense time and space as perfect when we dream. So, the first aspect of the beyond. What is the beyond like? Time and space are different there, just like when you dream, unreal. The second important aspect is, when we die and get to the beyond, our mind is the same as it is here. It is the same. It means that we are born here, come from the beyond. Our soul gets into a body here with the same mind, the same structure of mind as it has here. In the beyond we feel, and I remember that, just like we do here. I mean our perception. But our perception is more perfect there. Here, in this world, our mind works at 10%. I think it works 100% in the beyond. Just imagine that we sense at 15 or 20% instead of 10%. That is, expand our perception. We remember better, we think quicker, we acquire skills easier, we learn languages faster, we remember better, think better, but we are the same. We are as kind or evil, clever or kind, the same. And it is the same in the beyond. So a man is the same in the beyond as he is here. I mean his soul is. But here in the soul it is basic, the soul is basic, and it only has 10%. How come? Again, I'm going to tell you later. Okay, so the second aspect of the beyond is human souls dwell there, and they feel, they think the same way we do here. Our mind is the same, just the same. A little bit different, but basically the same. We think the same way. We use a language to think. We use words when we think rather than images. That is much like we do here. Everything is the same. A soul lives in the beyond eternally. But it was created by God. God created the beyond. When the soul was created, it felt depressed. First light was created, the light range. First there was darkness, then white light. Then there was depression and solitude. The man, its soul, felt despondent and dejected. Then it started to improve. It felt better and better, the soul grew, it developed through learning and improvement. While learning, the soul was getting perfect. It was getting higher, better. Learning does not mean education like at school. It means learning anything, any skills, any ideas, any hobbies, in the broadest sense. That is learning how to have a good time, how to make something, how to think, to invent, everything you can think of. That is, the soul was thinking, inventing something, having fun. It was absorbing all of it. It was learning. The soul's purpose in the beyond is learning and improvement, self-improvement. There is a social structure in the beyond, a society. It is not similar to the society we have here. Each soul lives separately. Souls do not have an appearance, but they view other souls as an appearance. Like a figure, some face, some image, like in a dream. So there is no appearance, no outside, but at the same time there is. Like that. There is no sex, there are no men and women, just souls. An important detail of the beyond is that everybody has an inside friend, their double that lives inside. Each soul has an internal friend, its other self, that it speaks to. It is a very important detail. Here, in the world we crave for love or friendship. We cannot get enough of it. In the beyond, we have someone else that we have to talk to. Let's say another mind, kind of a friend or a patron, or a parent. We talk to it, argue with it. This is an interesting aspect. I also remember that there is something like this. That is, before I was born, I had someone else inside, someone I could talk to, discuss things, kind of a friend or parent, someone who was very close and dear to me. There is something like this in the soul. I also remember that there are some traits in the beyond. They are not physical. I think there is art. There are some traits or skills similar to what we have here, but it is not something we make or produce. It is something we perform, shuffle or do. But this is not obligatory. That is, you can have something to do, a hobby or a trade, collect something, or do nothing at all. It is all the same. There is a caste of superiors. It is the souls who have passed through all the trials. They are superior souls, so to say. They manage the development process directed. Development is achieved through self-improvement. Self-improvement is achieved through learning. Learning means simply living in the beyond. Souls can talk to one another, but they may not do so, it is all up to them. Each soul feels at ease there. Here we are all stressed and emotional, but in the beyond we are on a higher level, we feel easier. There is a center in the soul's consciousness, kind of the second soul that I talk to, that my soul talks to. They communicate. I guess this is why here in this world we desire to be with our loved ones, parents, friends, etc. to talk. We need each other. We also have a friend and a parent in the beyond. This parent-friend has no body. He is in the soul, in the mind, as the second center, second myself, as part of the mind. Sure, what I'm telling you sounds weird, but that is what really is. Again, what I'm telling you is unique. It is a unique knowledge. No one has had it before. I am the first. I remember what was before my birth. At age 14 or about that, and I'm 28 now, at 14 I realized that all of that finally in all details. Then I started to gradually forget it, but I still want to give this knowledge to people. I do not want to waste my life, I want to share something with others and help them. I want them to know what I know, so that it does not vanish when I leave. Okay, so let's see. An important aspect of the social structure in the beyond is self-improvement. Each soul in the beyond is self-sufficient. Souls do not talk a lot to each other. Well, they do a little. Souls can compete. There is anger, unhappiness, joy, depression, elevation, everything we feel here. All kinds of mood we can have now are possible there in the beyond. It is the same as here. Self-improvement and growth of a soul in the beyond is not regulated. It is up to them. They improve on their own, develop skills, learn. They go through some stages of learning. Like in yoga, for example, there are stages. I remember for sure that living here in this world is one of the stages. That is what our world was made for. I mean that this world, the earth, was created by the souls in the beyond, by the supreme caste, in order for the souls to be able to be born here, live a life, learn and improve, and all that they learn here, all the skills and experience, is taken to the beyond after death, and helps them to become better. This was the purpose of this world creation. So, this world was set up for the souls from the beyond to live here and go through trials. A soul can be born as an animal, a plant or a tree, even an alien, but they are all souls. Souls from the beyond. A man can be born more than once, if they want to go through this again, and develop more skills. Or they may not be born at all. But I remember that in the beyond it was considered very interesting to be born here, to go through this test. It is believed that souls who do not go here, who do not get born as a man or an alien, lose a lot. They miss a whole lot, some important things. This life here is regarded as a very exciting and unique project. It is also notable that souls get prepared to live here. When a soul wants to be born here and go through this life, it goes through a long training first. Once again, let me point out that in the beyond, they believe that it is a great thing to live here in our world, something nice and important. If a soul from the beyond wants to come here, it chooses the country parents, rich or poor parents. First, it chooses the country. Some countries are deemed easy, some hard to live. They choose parents for an easier or harder life because they know if they are born into a good family, life would be easier, and vice versa. There is only one goal: to die in your bed, not to get killed. If you die naturally, you pass this test. And before you are born, you go through preparation. It includes several elements. The first element is the choice of the country, the parents, the sex, disabled or healthy, beautiful or ugly. You choose everything. So people who were born challenged or into a poor family, they had chosen it before. They wanted to go through more trials to get more experience and vice versa. Let me once again stress the importance of my words. Our world is artificial. It was created by those from the beyond. It is deemed a great honor to live here, to go through this test. We prepare in advance in the beyond. When we prepare, we choose our conditions to be born into. Parents, country, social status, wealth, looks. We select it all in advance. Also, when we prepare there in the beyond, we rehearse some key situations we are going to have here. Learn how we are going to act. That I remember for sure. We rehearse it. I remember what happened to me. As a result, we experience what we call déjà vu. We feel that we have been through this before, we see that, or we know that, but it has happened for the first time, yet we remember that because we have indeed been through this before, over there in the beyond, when we had a rehearsal. The most important events are rehearsed. We put on what we are going to do, because this is considered to be a unique competition, life here in this world. It is also very important to die naturally. If you die a natural death, you have passed this exam. It is notable that when you are born and are a baby, you still remember fully that you come from the beyond. For the first weeks and maybe a month, the baby is already a personality, even when the baby is unborn yet. And for the first days after the birth, it has the mind of the soul from the beyond. It knows it has been born. It realizes everything. It thinks. It knows all, why it is here for. And it starts to get ready. Then, in the first couple of months, we start to forget. We forget, 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 and have forgotten. This is programmed. Then we do not remember why we were born for. But we were born from somewhere, from the beyond namely. Babies remember before they are born and some time after they are born. Why they are here, where they come from. They also communicate, they train, they talk to the beyond in their dreams. Dreams are important, that is why babies sleep so much. It is not clear why babies sleep so long, but that is an explanation. When they sleep, their mind goes to the beyond and exchanges information. A baby is not quite a human yet, but then it forgets everything and becomes a human. It is important to know that our world is a projection of the beyond. Our mind is now much the same as it is in the beyond. We have the same emotions. What I mean is we have the same mind structure, but we only use 8 to 10% of our mind. whereas at the beyond we use 100%. If we manage to operate our mind from 10 to 100% here, we will feel like we do in the beyond. We will even get rid of death. Our body can die, but the soul will live here. That is, why do they, in the beyond, consider our world to be a test of paramount importance? There can be many tests, there may be many worlds. Our world here is not just one world. There are many parallel universes where souls are born into and go through tests. But life here in the earth or of an alien is considered, let's say, the most prestigious test in the beyond, because the structure of the soul is decreased from 100% to 10%, and we live here with the same mind we have in the beyond, but 10% of it. But the rest is basically the same. And I clearly remember something that was predicted in the beyond. I remember it from there. The humankind here will one day realize that it is our purpose to increase our thinking above 10%. If it is 95%, the soul can leave the body and live eternally. When we get to the threshold of 80% and can leave it and live eternally here, I mean get out, to increase our mind to 100%, we will be able to live eternally, and we will leave the beyond. We will live eternally here and will not get to the beyond. And I remember from the beyond for sure that the humankind will reach a point when the mind level will increase greatly, and the society will realize that it is the main goal to increase our mind from 10% on. When we reach the 100% mark, our world will be done for. It will be exterminated from the beyond. It will be destroyed. The end of the world will come. Everything will be destroyed. The entire universe, not just the planet Earth. Everything, in order to prevent the people from raising their mind to the level of the beyond. I do not remember what year it will be, either the 37th or the 73rd millennium. All I remember is either 3 or 7, some thousand years, either 3 or 7, maybe 30,000 years or 13,000. 3 or 7 is all that I remember. On that date, the humankind will reach a point when its mind level will get to 100%. There will be a danger and the world will be destroyed. Our universe may collapse to a point once again where it emerged from the Big Bang, but both the point and the bang were orchestrated. The parameters around the bang and the rest were set up from the beyond artificially, just so that we can live life here and have trials, tests, gather experience and skills. This is how our world was created. On a different note, I would like to tell you that if you are interested in what I am telling you, if this interests you, you may also be interested in my book that has been recently published. The title of the book is Biorhythms, a guide on how to become happy. It is in English. My father co-authored it. It is an exciting book. Hopefully it helps you to become happy, helps you to improve your life. The details of this book and a link to Amazon, I mean my book webpage at Amazon, can be seen below. You can have a look. Press the button and go to the Amazon webpage, please. See the details of the book. I am very proud of the book. It may benefit you. Biorhythms, a guide on how to become happy. By the end of my lecture, I would like to reiterate that what I remember, what I have told you, cannot be invented. I remember that clearly, based on what really happened. It is impossible to think up. That is what I remember. It explains a lot. It explains déjà vu. It explains why there are so many troubles and ordeals here in our world, why our life is so hard. It explains how our world came into being, who was its creator. It solves the mystery of God and the problem of the evil that happens in our world. Our world was not made by God. It was made artificially by human souls. Thus, evil is possible here. If the world had been created by God, evil would not have been possible. God created the beyond, and there is no evil there, at least like it here. There is competition between souls, there is growth, but there is nothing evil like murder, robberies, rapes. There is no stealing, there is no such evil. The other world, the beyond, is the true world, it is the divine world, and our world is artificially created. The man is born into it with a suppressed mind. He is born into a body that has animal instincts. That is why there is evil here. This can also be explained. It explains many aspects and issues that science cannot explain. On the one hand, our world could not have been created out of nothing. The physical constants and their number prove it. They could just emerge from nowhere. Someone was behind it. But it is not perfect at the same time. Time is not perfect. Space is not perfect. This indicates that this world cannot be God's creation, so it is artificial. So this world was not created by God, but it did not appear on its own either. That is why there are both perfect and imperfect things here. Some things are ideal, but others are not. We possess a soul of the better divine world, but we have a body, a sinful man's body. My theory, my concept that I suggest, solves all those conflicts. The gist of the cosmos is that there is reincarnation. Please understand that we can be reborn. This can also be explained. The essence is that we do not die after death. This is not the real world. The real world, the true world, is the beyond. After death, our soul gets to the beyond and lives eternally. The main idea that I have is that I remember for sure that there is the beyond, and that we live eternally. We come here from the beyond as well. It is the wrong thinking to believe that we only get to the paradise or hell after death. We are there before death too. We are in the beyond. Our soul and mind are immortal. When we die, we leave our body, we go to the beyond, and we can even come back invisible, watch the others, our family, help them, and so on. This is also possible. We can be born again. Reincarnation is possible. That is why some people remember their past lives when mesmerized. It is the explanation. So, please understand that there are inconsistencies in our world that are explained this way. Our world came into being some way. There is an explanation. Science cannot explain it, neither can religion, because both science and religion are weak, but the explanation exists. We came here somehow, we live here some way, but there are many inconsistencies. Again, we are both perfect, that is, our soul is perfect. We seek God, crave for knowledge, science, art, and not perfect at the same time. We wish to live eternally, but we die. Our soul lives eternally. We spend all our life eternally in the beyond, so we do not need to be afraid of death. Death is just going to the beyond. But we live immortally, that is, our souls are eternal. I remember that clearly, I am sharing it with you. Finally, let me wish you all the best. Yours truly, Dmitry Kviatkovsky. I hope that you can benefit from what you have learned. I mean, you can be comforted and know that life does not end with the death. We live on, and our world is not ours, it is artificial. I do not persuade you to believe what I say. You can believe it or not, this is your decision. I simply share it. I broadcast over YouTube. I just have a goal. I want people to know about it. What if I die, no one remembers what I remember? For some reason I do. I remember everything I told you. I have just shared with you and that's it. It is up to believe you decide. I simply tell what I remember and you believe it or you don't. Finally, if you are interested, please have a look at my book at Amazon. It may help you make your life easier and happier. Sincerely yours, Dmytro Kviatkovsky. With the best regards. Goodbye.